kind of things did you take out of the weekend after looking at how you played Saturday, and especially compared to Friday?
Yeah, Friday was pretty obvious we didn't play well. Again, North Dakota played extremely well, didn't let us get going. Saturday we responded, played really well, but when you take 9 penalties to their 2, it's pretty hard to win a game. And we battled like crazy. Our goalie battled like crazy to keep us in the game. And eventually the shorthanded situation put us in a position where you kill almost 2 minutes of a 5-on-3, but eventually they were able to get a shot through, and that's pretty much the story of the game, was the 9-2 penalties. But we played hard, and that was the response we were looking for. And again, our team has to learn, and if we're not learning and this continues to happen, we're not going to win. So that has to be the lesson. It's been 2 games out of the last 4 where the penalties have been the deciding factor in the game. So that'll be something that we'll have to continue to focus on. We'll have to read the referees better. I thought that situation on Saturday was a little bit challenging on trying to figure out how that game was being called. All 9 of ours were penalties. I have no problem admitting to that, but them only having 2 was pretty hard to figure out how that could be that imbalanced in a game like that. But that's what happened, and like I said, we're going to have to be more disciplined, and at least in figuring out how the refs are calling the game.
Cameron?
Yeah, it's the second weekend in a row sort of where we're here talking about penalties afterwards, and I guess for lack of a better way to say it, like, how do you communicate that message to the team of taking fewer penalties and being more disciplined?
Well, I think, again, you can't take the aggressiveness out of it. That's part of who we have to be. It's part of hockey. A better feel for how the refs are calling the game. One, it'll have to be something, also, two, we're a young team. We're still a young team that's learning about a lot of different things in college hockey. So, again, it's things we'll just have to keep focusing on and addressing. And the good thing is our penalty killers did a much better job. And going forward, that should be, a positive thing. God bless you. Twice, times 2.
Todd?
Where do you think you felt the impact of not having Linus the most? I mean, he's a
Power
obvious
play.
power play guy.
Power play offensively, Linus is a very dynamic player and hard to defend. He's also a guy that draws a lot of penalties with his speed. We missed his speed for sure. Offensively, we got a lot of freshmen in the lineup, so that experience, even though he's only a sophomore, he's got a lot of college hockey games under his belt. That part we missed as well. So he's a dynamic player that obviously we'd love to have back in our lineup soon.
Cameron?
I'm going to follow up on that, because when I say soon, now he's on the mend. Probably will not be available this weekend, but after that, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out, he'll be back. I think he'll be able to start skating hopefully by the end of this week, but probably won't be able to play for at least 2 weeks.
Last 2 weekends, do you think the teams maybe have been caught a little bit by surprise by the intensity of your opponents in the first game? That's contributed to it?
I don't know if we've been caught by surprise. Obviously, the game against Michigan Tech, we were ready to play. We got the major penalty out of the gate. We lost a key player in the first 5 minutes of our game. I thought we played hard in that game, but, giving up 5 power play goals to them, it's pretty hard to recover from that. So Friday's game in North Dakota, was I disappointed that we didn't start better? Yes. I think everybody will say the same thing. It's a new environment for a lot of our players, it's a new situation. I thought we would be more on the attack as opposed to kind of waiting to see how it was going to play out. I thought we tiptoed into it, kind of waited to see how the game was going to be playing. You can't do that against a good team. You got to get right after them. And again, that's something that we have to learn from. And when we do play on our toes and we do play hard, we can show through the first 8 games, 4 of them, we played great hockey. That it doesn't matter who you play or where you play, you can have success. But if you get yourself in penalty problems, and if you get yourself on your heels and you wait to see how the game's going to be played, you're probably going to be chasing it all game. And I think that's the lessons through the first 8 games that I've learned about our team, and hopefully we've learned as well.
Ryan?
Tony, in the moment, I'm sure Daniel Lebedev was disappointed, but the grand scheme of things on Saturday, he was really, really good.
He's been really, really good. every time he's been in our net. So for a freshman to go into that building, and I thought that was really important for us to get him in the game Friday night. Jack, by no means was it his fault. We were down 4-0 on Friday night. He had a couple goals bounced off players in front of our net, but it was time to change our momentum of our team and get Daniel in there. And it also gave Daniel a chance to get his feet wet in that environment and in that building. And I thought that was good because he played really well at the end of the game on Friday and carried it over into Saturday. And he was outstanding. He was our best penalty killer for sure. He made 3 or 4 great saves. He's confident. I think the guys are confident in front of him. And he looks good. I mean, he looks really solid in the net. So, that's been certainly a great sign and someone that's stepped up and played to the level that we thought he could play as a freshman.
Todd.
Well, a few weeks ago, you mentioned that this may be the point at the start of the Big Ten season where you might look at going to one goalie and putting it in his hands. Are you at that point yet, or do you?
We'll make that decision this week. There's a good chance Daniel will play on Friday night. I'll tell you that right now. One thing, Saturday's performance certainly gives us confidence that he's ready for the big stage. That was a big stage game on Saturday night, and he had no problem stepping in and being a big factor in that game.
Todd.
Was it doubly hard to swallow the fact that you did so well on the penalty kill Friday and Saturday night, and then the last shot is the one that happens to go
Last
in?
shot and it's 5-on-3. I mean, we did a great job for the 2 minutes. And again, Daniel made a couple saves for us. Again, the guys played hard. We blocked a shot right in front of that. Kelnick blocked a great shot. That one just snuck by his shoulder, and I think Daniel was screened a bit on the shot, so he didn't get a clear view of it. But I think the penalty killers should feel good about their effort and how they killed. We killed almost 2 minutes of that 5-on-3. The end of the game to get it to overtime was a lot of big blocks again and some nice defensive plays. So I think, on the positive side, we should feel pretty good about the PK.
Brian.
I know Minnesota's only played. Oh, I'm sorry. I know Minnesota's only played 5 games. Can you tell a difference of the style of play that they're trying to incorporate under Bob Motzko?
A little bit. I mean, they're highly skilled. I think they got lots of individual talent up front. That's going to be something that we're going to have to pay attention to. They can skate. Their deal try to get involved in the play. So offensively, they're going to try to open it up for sure. I think we're going to have to be really disciplined on how we play and not allow them to get it into a wide open end game. I think we're going to have to be ready for the start of the series to set the tone on how it's going to be played both nights.